a couple. There's the Delta Force and the Bumblebee.
It's all in the same place.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the possibility of doing Joe Returns a Video as a feature, and what if we can't get Steven Seagal?
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. So my backup was Michael Dudikoff.
And he did have that one movie.
American Ninja.
Yes.
But he's also, people would recognize him.
Would they?
Bachelor Party. He did a few things.
Okay.
Bigger.
Okay.
He was one of the buddies.
The problem is that all the guys that made 80s action movies are still somewhat popular. I mean, I'm just scrolling through popular 80s action movies.
But there
Terminator,
were some,
Die Hard,
Rambo.
Rambo.
Look at the canon movies.
Yeah, but Charles Bronson's dead.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris, he doesn't bring up the funny as a guy from the 80s because he's Chuck Norris.
I think it'd still be funny. Chuck, I don't know if we could get Chuck. I don't know what his sense of humor is like. But Steven Seagal did Cock Puncher. We've got a shot at it.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I think he would do it because we're not. The thing is, we're not making fun of him.
No.
People laugh
actually, it's
at
more
the reference.
It's an homage to
Yeah,
him.
people laugh at the reference. I don't think anyone understands why. They laugh.
Just,
when you say Steven Seagal's above the law.
Because of all the 80s movies, most of those actors either peaked and continued, or they did something else, or they branched out. Steven Seagal he did a lot of movies, but the movie, I'm not saying the movie quality, but the type of movies he did were very much like the 80s movies that launched guys. He ended up going down to those levels of movies. So trying to find somebody that has that were as promising as he was in 1988, because that first movie was a big hit.
Above the Law was great.
And then, the next movie, and then he did Under Siege, which was great, and just it kept going from there. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of like it never got any better for him, and it kind of kept. And they made a couple.
I think he kept making the same things where Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis kind of branched off and tried other things.
They tried,
even if they
comedy
failed. They tried.
Yeah, I mean Bruce Willis after Die Hard, one of his next movies was Look Who's Talking.
Yeah,
and and that helped Travolta come back a little bit.
Kept Travolta.
Yeah, his relevant. Well, I mean, really, it was 3 years later he did Pulp Fiction, and then he was back in everybody's sights again. He resurrected his career after 20 years. So, but trying to figure out who could do it other than him if he doesn't do it.
It's tough. I think Michael Dudikoff's not bad because your video store people, your VHS collectors would know who he was.
But it's like,
and where the people that would get the joke are really people who used to rent the videos.
Right.
I don't think the kids aren't going to get. Teenagers aren't going to get the reference at all.
Yeah,
and that's fine. They're not supposed to.
Yeah. He's like, to them, he's like what I think of Charles Bronson. As good as he was, he played the same character after he started out in the 60s and 70s with Dirty Dozen and Death Wish. Once he got locked into Death Wish, he played that same character in every movie until he died. He wasn't the grandpa. He was, he
was always Charles.
He was
Bronson.
70 years old, but he was still trying to defend the 25-year-old girlfriend that died from the drug dealer or whatever.
Right.
So yeah. But and then they tried to put Bruce Willis in the Death Wish thing, and I thought that movie was pretty good.
I didn't see that one,
but it didn't quite.
I just didn't. People didn't care. It seemed like, 'cause I don't know anyone other than you that saw it.
That's probably why. I went to see it in the theater, and I was like, "Where is it on cable?" Because everybody expects eventually. You and I both grew up where first it was movies, and then about 6 months later, a year later, you saw it on tape, and then eventually it drifted its way into HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Movie Channel, whatever. Now, things kind of, I'm realizing what it is. It's that these motion picture studios own those channels. So it eventually diffuses back down to their channel. And these oddball movies, I think Eli Roth did Death Wish, the new Death Wish. So whichever studio he made the movie with ends up being where he's going to take it. And if they don't have an outlet, it ended up on the Flix channel of all the channels. Was it Flix? Whatever, I don't know, whatever the channel is. But like waiting for this movie to come out, it's HBO or Showtime. It's usually where the movies ended up, and they don't end up there anymore. So
Right.
now you got to find it. Sometimes you're lucky it ends up on Netflix, but usually you see the movie. Oh yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Oh, but it's a rental, so you can rent it for $9, $6, or you can buy it for $20, and that's disappointing because you're paying for a service that still charges you to watch movies all the time early.
Well, you don't, but when you rent or buy a digital download on Amazon, that's not part of Prime. So it's not like you're paying for Prime to get access.
You're getting it early. Yeah.
You're just, everyone has to pay.
Right.
Whether you're a member of Prime
until
or not.
it drops into the regular stream of
which is what, 3 months, 6 months,
whatever the number is. But
it's weird.
But with Netflix, when you see a movie on there, there's no renting it. It's on there or it's not. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the difference between a video streaming service versus a company that owns everything. That's just like, oh, we can sell this to you first if you want to watch it now. If you
Or you can wait until all your friends have seen it,
Yeah.
and no one wants to talk to you about it because it's old news to them. But Steve, who could we get for Steven Seagal if we didn't?
Yeah.
Who could we replace Steven Seagal with if Steven Seagal said no?
He should. I mean, honestly, he is the one character from that era. I mean, everybody knows all the other ones, but that's A, still alive, and B, had that obscurity that can. And when I say obscurity, he fell out of the limelight. I mean, Bruce Willis has been making movies.
Yeah, Stallone,
continuously.
even Van Damme
Stallone
never really left.
Well, he disappeared a little bit, and then
but
he kind of
would-
had a resurgence.
But like he would appear on Friends. He had appearances.
Right.
Steven Seagal, yeah, he just kind of probably needed a better publicist because looking at his IMDb, he never stopped working.
Yeah, he just didn't.
But
make
just
movies
no one
that
heard
were
about the movie.
blockbusters or anything like that. So, but yeah, he could be.
But like Roger Ebert said, he could be the next big action star.
I heard that before. Watch Conjoined on Amazon.
Watch Conjoined on Amazon Prime, and soon Joe returns a video.